school graduate Dondre Lead wove through crowds in downtown Washington, gathering images and interviews. He says the protest was peaceful.
But at around 6:15, the police came over the border and proceeded to block people in and have us in these small groups trying to cut people off from the large protest.
Lead says the crowd control approach inflamed tensions and disrupted the peace.
Because they're literally moving towards you and banging shields and making noise and pepper spraying people. That's how a lot of things escalate.
That's when the rioters and the looters and the anarchists show up. I feel like they're just waiting there, just waiting for someone to start. They absolutely do not care about this movement, because if you cared about this movement, you wouldn't be taking advantage of it.
Mohammed and Lead graduated from high school in suburban Washington last month. Lead says entering adulthood at this moment is scary.
It just feels like we're stepping into a world that's just completely awry. Like everything is going wrong at like the exact same time.
They're part of a global movement sparked by the deaths of Black Americans like George Floyd, who died in police custody. While he was being detained, a Minneapolis police officer pressed his knee on Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes.
He couldn't breathe! He couldn't breathe!
Caught on video, Floyd told the police, "I can't breathe," and the chant has been echoed by protesters around the world.
I think for once, it seems like the reaction is actually proportionate, at least in my opinion, to this accumulation of the same thing happening over and over and over again.
Mass protests in the U.S. have a history of driving change.
Several demonstrators were arrested.
This is a historical moment, and we can't just let history pass us by.
Like many young people, Tarjamo says he's getting involved politically to steer the country in a different direction. Zhu says everyone has a stake in lasting institutional change.
We can tweet about it, we can hashtag about it, we can be upset about it and share the video, but until we start going and taking political power, not much will change.
You can knock on people's doors and say, hey, what issues do you care about? That's not a partisan thing. I think a lot of the time the framing of it is partisan.
Lead, an aspiring documentary filmmaker, said he sees his role as capturing protests and interviewing those involved. His takeaway: a single person can make a difference.
No one should feel like they're not enough, because everyone is enough. That's the whole point. We're ready for any support towards any issue, and driving change is just really up to you as a person. I can do my part, the next person can do their part, and it's just a chain.
Tarjamo says fixing a broken system is a project for his generation that will take decades.
I think that there's a hope that we can definitely go and take power and take control and try to go and make a change. But that, once again, it depends on us.
For that change to happen, he says everyone needs to vote. Bronwyn Benito, VOA News.